Picture this: 50 massive warships, enough firepower to destroy an entire planet, all sent to capture one guy, one single human eating jerky in his underwear on a beat-up freighter that looks like it was built from spare parts found in someone's garage. Sounds like overkill, right? Well, buckle up, because what happens next is absolutely insane. Main content. So let me set the scene for you. Commander Victara is sitting on the bridge of her flagship, the Sovereign Talon, surrounded by 49 sister ships. We're talking about the most powerful fleet in the Galactic Council's arsenal. These aren't your average patrol boats. These are dreadnoughts. Planet-destroying, civilization-ending dreadnoughts. And their target? A guy named Jake Morrison. Now, Victara's tactical officer, this four-eyed alien named Real Mora, looks at the situation and basically says what we're all thinking. Isn't this a bit much for one dude? But Victara shuts him down immediately, even though deep inside, she's thinking the exact same thing. Because here's the deal. When the Galactic Council sends 50 warships after a single target, that target is either incredibly dangerous or incredibly stupid. Maybe both. Then Jake's ship appears on their scanners. And I'm not kidding when I say it looked absolutely pathetic. The database calls it the Lucky Shot, who even names their warship after luck. But there it is, floating in space, doing absolutely nothing. No shields up, barely any weapons, and just one life sign aboard. Victara's confidence is through the roof at this point. She's already planning her victory dinner, imagining the commendation ceremony, thinking about how this story will make her the legend of the fleet. She orders all ships into capture formation. Remember, they want this human alive. So these 50 massive vessels move into position, creating literal gravitational distortions with their combined mass. And Jake's freighter? It just sits there, not running, not fighting, just sitting. Then the human starts broadcasting. The view screen flickers on, and there he is, Jake Morrison, flight suit covered in stains, feet kicked up on his console, munching on what looks like beef jerky, waving at the camera like he's greeting old friends at a barbecue. "Hey there, folks," he says, completely casual. "Beautiful day for a space confrontation, isn't it? Love what you've done with the fleet arrangement. Very symmetrical. Did you practice that?" Victara is not amused. She gives him the standard threat. Power down your engines, surrender, or we'll use lethal force. And Jake laughs. Actually laughs. Like she just told the funniest joke he's ever heard. Lethal force? Ma'am, you brought 50 ships to arrest one guy eating beef jerky in his underwear. I think we both know you're not authorized for lethal anything. Wait, how does he know that? The mission briefing was classified at the highest levels. That's when Victara feels the first whisper of doubt creeping down her spine. But it gets better. Jake sits up, brushes crumbs off his chest, and drops a bomb. "You could disable my ship. Absolutely. But then you'd have to explain to the Council why you destroyed the only person in the galaxy who knows where the Praxis Archive is hidden." The bridge goes dead silent. The Praxis Archive. We're talking about a legendary database containing every piece of advanced technology from an ancient civilization that mysteriously vanished 3,000 years ago. Most people think it's a myth, a fairy tale. Victara tries to call his bluff, but her voice cracks. And Jake? He just grins. That predatory, knowing grin that makes every alien on that bridge realize they might be in trouble. "Tell you what," Jake says, "let's make this sporting. You got 50 ships. I've got one very lucky freighter and a really bad attitude. If you can capture me in the next hour, I'll tell you everything. If you can't," he shrugs. Well, I guess the Praxis Archive stays lost forever. Victara orders her tactical officer to target his engines, and that's when everything goes absolutely crazy. The Lucky Shot moves. No, scratch that, it explodes into motion. We're talking acceleration that should literally turn any living thing inside into liquid. 1 second it's stationary. The next it's threading through their formation like a needle through fabric. So close to Victara's flagship that she can see the scratches on its hull. "All ships, open fire," she screams. 49 dreadnoughts unleash everything they have. Energy beams, kinetic rounds, plasma bursts. the entire arsenal converging on one single point in space, where Jake had been 1.3 seconds ago. His laughter echoes through the communication channel. "Oh, come on. My grandmother could dodge better than that, and she's been dead for 20 years. Then his freighter appears above their formation, somehow, impossibly, upside down relative to their orientation. Their sensors show no warp signature, no hyperspace activity, nothing to explain how he got there. You know what your problem is?" Jake's voice crackles. "You think in 3 dimensions. Space is way more fun when you get creative." He dives straight down to the center of their formation, and Victara watches in absolute horror as 3 of her ships accidentally hit each other while trying to track him. Shields flare, hulls buckle, alarms scream across multiple channels. 3 down, 47 to go, Jake announces cheerfully. "Current time, for minutes 18 seconds. You're running out of hour, Commander." Victara's losing her mind. She demands answers from real Mora. How is this possible? And the data makes 0 sense. Jake's reactor output is minimal. That ship shouldn't be capable of any of this. The G-forces alone should have killed him during that first acceleration. We're talking 18 GS without inertial dampeners. No organic being survives that. But Jake keeps flying through their crossfire like he can literally see the future. Every movement perfectly calculated to put him exactly where the weapons aren't. Then he drops some knowledge. Fun fact, humans have this thing called an inner ear. Helps with balance. Makes us really good at 3-dimensional spatial awareness. Meanwhile, you guys evolved in shallow seas. 2-dimensional thinking. It's adorable, really. One of the captains responds with what I'm assuming were some pretty creative alien curse words. Then Jake's freighter does something that breaks everyone's brain. It stops. Absolute 0 velocity. Instantly. Just hanging in space like it's nailed there. Every ship in the fleet overshoots because of momentum. By the time they reverse thrust, he's already moving again. This time straight at Victara's flagship. She orders evasive maneuvers, but it's too late. And here's where it gets absolutely wild. Jake doesn't fire weapons, doesn't ram them. Instead, his freighter flips 90 degrees, ignites its main thrusters at full burn, and uses the Sovereign Talon's own shields as a springboard. Did he just bounce off our shields? Real Mora asks, all 4 eyes wide with disbelief. Yep, Jake confirms. Also, you should really encrypt your command channel. I've been hearing everything for the last 10 minutes. Hi, Real Mora. Your concern about overkill was totally justified, buddy. Victara orders all frequencies jammed. Her communications officer confirms it's done. Perfect. Jake's voice comes through crystal clear. Great. Now we're using backup channel 7. Thanks for clearing out the clutter. Really appreciate it. At this point, Victara realizes they're not just losing, they're being humiliated. This human with his garbage freighter is making the finest fleet in council space look like complete amateurs. She orders predictive firing patterns. They're going to fill every possible escape route with lethal energy. It's a classic pincer movement that's worked against massive rebellions and entire confederacies. It lasts 8 seconds. Because Jake's freighter doesn't dodge. It splits. The hull plating peels away in sections, revealing that what they thought was a simple cargo hollow is actually an armored shell over something way nastier. The core vessel that emerges is sleek, predatory, and accelerating at speeds that make the previous performance look slow. Surprise. Jake shouts, "You didn't think I'd actually fly around in a garbage scow, did you? That was just the gift wrapping." The true lucky shot moves like liquid mercury, and now it's shooting back. Small, precise bursts striking sensor rays, communication dishes, targeting computers, non-lethal hits. He's being careful not to kill anyone while systematically dismantling their offensive capabilities. 21 minutes into this engagement, Victara has lost 16 ships to various states of disabled or damaged. Not a single crew member killed. The human is toying with them, demonstrating superiority without crossing into actual warfare. Real Mora quietly suggests they withdraw. Victara hates that he's right. Then Jake offers them one free shot. 10 whole seconds of him not moving. It's obviously a trap, but what choice do they have? 34 ships fire simultaneously. Enough energy to vaporize a moon converges on one point in space. The lucky shot vanishes. Just gone. Then Jake's face appears on every screen throughout the Sovereign alone. He's standing in their cargo bay, inside their ship, hands in pockets, looking around casually. Nice ship, could use better lighting though. Very gloomy. Anyway, I'm claiming this vessel as a prize of war. Nothing personal, just business. He used a .003 seconds. Their shields were down during the mass firing to teleport aboard. Or, as he explains, very precise wormhole manipulation. Jake gives them two choices. Try to capture him inside their own ship, which he guarantees will end badly, or accept that sending 50 ships was a massive tactical error, and everyone goes home. Then he does something unexpected. He pulls out a data chip, the Praxis Archive location. He was always going to hand it over. He just wanted it done with respect, not chains. Tell the Council that next time they want something from humanity, they should try diplomacy first. We're much more cooperative when people aren't pointing guns at us. 3 days later, Victara is standing before the Galactic Council. Try to explain how one human in a freighter defeated 50 dreadnoughts. The High Chancellor is not happy. But Victara has discovered something disturbing. Jake knew way too much about their tactics, their protocols, their weaknesses. Someone with access to classified databases fed him that information. That's when Jake teleports into the middle of the council chamber. Security freaks out, weapons everywhere, but Jake just smiles. Relax, folks. I'm here for the galaxy's dullest parent-teacher conference. He proceeds to lecture the most powerful beings in the galaxy about why humans don't respond well to threats, how they evolved as persistence hunters on what the galaxy classifies as a Class 12 death world, how everything on Earth, the plants, the animals, the weather, evolved to kill everything else. You're not dealing with a normal prey response, Jake explains. You're triggering millions of years of survival instinct that says being outnumbered means I need to be clever, not scared. He reveals that the Praxis Archive isn't a treasure trove of weapons. It's a warning. The Praxis fell because they forgot how to adapt, how to change, how to respect threats they didn't understand. The Archive is booby-trapped to kill anyone arrogant enough to take its knowledge by force. But if you approach peacefully, ask nicely, demonstrate wisdom, it opens right up. The council debates. Arguments fly. But ultimately, they realize Jake is right. One human did all this damage. There are 8 billion more on Earth, many of them smarter and meaner than him. The High Chancellor agrees to approach the Archive peacefully. And Jake? He defends Commander Victara, saying she fought smart and deserves commendation, not punishment. If they discipline her, he'll consider it a hostile act. He leaves them with one final warning. Threats are coming that make this little scuffle look like a playground fight. The galaxy is bigger than any of them. Species that work together survive. Those that stand alone fall. Then he's gone, leaving behind the coordinates, a quantum communicator for Victara, and a chamber full of very thoughtful aliens. Closing. So here's what this story really teaches us. Underestimating someone because they're small, young, or different is the fastest way to get embarrassed. The Galactic Council sent 50 warships to capture one human, and lost them all. Not through violence, but through arrogance. Jake Morrison proved that strength isn't just about firepower. It's about adaptability, creativity, and refusing to quit when the odds are stacked against you. Traits that humanity developed surviving on a planet that spent millions of years trying to kill us. The galaxy sent 50 ships. Humanity sent one guy with a bad attitude and a really good grasp of physics. And that one guy taught an entire galactic civilization a lesson they'll never forget. Because sometimes the scariest thing in the universe isn't the biggest fleet or the most advanced technology. It's a species that simply refuses to lose. If this story got you fired up, smash that like button. Subscribe for more epic sci-fi content. And drop a comment below. Would you want humanity as an ally or an enemy in the galaxy? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, remember, never underestimate the species that conquer the death world. We're just getting started.